welcome back to Midnight Underground. Allie, I think you're the only person here. What is up? Thank you so much for hanging out. Honestly, I came on pretty late today because we had a. Oh, hold on. Let me just turn this down a little bit. Yeah. So late start tonight. Because we went to a drive-in movie theater tonight. Now, where we live, oh, thank you, Allie. You are the ultimate hype person. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it because yeah, I was just not. I know I'm starting late, so I was just just gonna hang out. I hope you're having a great night. How you doing tonight? Welcome back, or you know, whatever the case might be. Um, oh, what's up, Snooze? Snooze, welcome in. How are we doing tonight, guys? Yeah. So we took our kids today to go see Hocus Pocus, um, and at a drive-in movie theater right near us. Um, and that's wonderful. I'm glad you got a lot of work done. Um, oh, girl. Well, I hope you enjoy your date. I, I mean, I haven't. My wife and I go out on dates, still, and it's. I mean, we've been. Well, I guess we've only been married for. We're coming up on 4 years this October. But it's exciting to go on dates. I hope you have a good date. I hope it's chill. I hope it's with somebody that you genuinely enjoy and that treats you right. Um, oh, snooze. Oh, that sucks. Damn, that sucks when I know exactly how you feel. I really do. My old job, I had somebody that I worked with that really took me. They were one level above me. They really took me under their wing, and they got fired in a really like kind of inappropriate way. And it was at that moment that I actually started applying for other jobs. I was like, it was just one of those things. I think a job is always like the people you work with. It's not so much. I mean, companies are great, and the field can be great, if it suits your needs. But if it's not with the right people, forget about it. Forget about it. I'm on own. Yo, what's up, Red Fire? Red Fire, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Red Fire. I hope you are doing wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, Red Fire. You're amazing. Um, but Snooze, hope you find a better job. Allie, let me see. Very casual mall date. Oh my gosh, it's a mall date. Oh, dude. Mall dates are like, um, I think that my cat's going crazy for some reason. We had fireworks. Oh, excuse me. I just burped a little. I'm drinking a beer, so, um, but that is awesome. That is exciting. I have a good feeling about this too for you, Allie. Allie, you've got it together. Your Discord's on fire. Your streams are hype. I really want to watch your Wind Waker video, and all the work you've been doing on that. I am going to. It is on my to-do list for personal, just because I mean it's just cool shit. It's cool shit what you're doing. Um, so Snooze, all right, yeah, she's getting fired because there isn't enough sales in our department. So now it's just me alone. The sales are only going to get worse. So, Snooze, what kind of? Do you mind me asking what kind of industry? And Red Fire, good. I'm glad you're just chilling. Oh yeah, Red Fire. If you got to get her up early, that was me. So honestly, guys, I was exhausted last night. After once we started playing Bully, a tired spell hit me, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" I am. When we started playing Banjo Kazooie, my brain was just like firing. I haven't been sleeping a lot. I've been up late. I've been waking up. I pretty much have been going to bed at like 12:30, 1:30 most nights, and I'm up at 6 a.m. Most days because of my kid. So, um, oh, custom framing it. That's tough. Custom framing at Michaels. Um, and yeah, Ali, I will 100,000% share my opinion of your video. Um, and let me know how much feedback you want. I've done. I'm just a very much a flow person. I at some point, so I actually have a film out on YouTube. You probably you I don't know if you'd be able to find it easily. I'm not going to share this with everybody. Like next time we have a large chat, I'm only sharing it with you guys because I don't know. I mean, anyone can watch this, right? But I do have a film that's out there. I've only done one that I edited and created all by myself. I was the main actor. Uh, yeah, if you find it and you throw some hints in the chat, I will be impressed, and I will find. We'll have to arrange something that I can pay you back because that's people in my previous jobs have found it, and it just makes me laugh because it was just a comedy video that I made for it was my senior capstone project in high school. Mountain Dew, what's up, Mountain Dew? Thank you for hopping in. Um, so far, okay. So I want to get back to Snooze's comment real quick. Snooze, that's a tough gig. I'm not gonna lie. Last time I was in Michaels and I walked by the frame department, I am I'm barely middle class right now. Barely. Well, I'm not. My wife and I are together. But the framing at Michaels, it gets pretty pricey. At least from what I've seen, I can't afford the stuff that I look at when I go in there. We don't go to Michael's often. I'll say that though. So maybe I'm looking in the wrong spot. But yeah. There's other things out there. I have faith in you, Snooze. Snooze, you got this. Um, oh, Allie, okay. Allie, that's fair. So yeah, I'll just share how the video makes you. That's fine. Actually, it's probably annoying to get like technical. Actually, Tucker, when he's put out his videos, people will give him really technical comments on his videos that he's already worked like hours and hours. I mean, I know it takes a long time to put content out there, and basically it gets to a point where people are giving you all this technical feedback, and it's just like we're just putting videos out there. We're not, you know, building a rocket ship sometimes. Um, yeah, see, Snooze, there you go. I've actually been doing a lot of short films with this guy in my local area. Like he does these like dark comedies that we've been doing. And he's been working on them for a while. Like we completed at least, I know for a fact we've completed 2 of them, like fully. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. He wants to do like a premiere where he actually wants to rent out a space and like hype up the town and get a bunch of people there, which I think he could do. There's a very big like a very dedicated art scene out here in Binghamton, New York. So yeah, it's crazy expensive. Yeah, Snooze, I'm gonna say yeah. I mean, frames in general. This is the thing about frames I don't get. I could go to a like yard sale. This is something my grandmother actually had a problem buying stuff. It was more of like an addiction for her. But when she passed away, she had like maybe like 100 photo frames that were all like original wood. Like some of them were like gilded. Like she had some like crazy frames. And when you sell frames at a yard sale, you're selling them for the lowest dollar. You're selling like my wife and I have gone to yard sales and we've gotten beautiful gold frames for, I'm not kidding, like $1 a piece in our whole house now. We actually have so many frames now because we kept buying them because we're like, they're so cheap. Because then you go to a store like Walmart and you're looking at that pressure treated or whatever it is kind of plastic wood, and they're selling that for like $10-15 a pop for like a cheap thing. You go to the next aisle with those big black plastic frames, you're looking at like 25 bucks on a frame that's just plastic. So just get a metal frame for $1. Like, no brainer, no brainer for me. And you know, there's a lot of old people in this area. Eventually, there's going to be some really good frame sales. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking. May all the old people live as long as they possibly can. But that's just my little joke for the night. I'm sorry if that was ill placed. I love old people. I love all people, honestly. But yeah. Oh, so Allie. All right. So as long as people don't insult what I've already done. Yeah, yeah, I feel that. Yeah, dude, Michaels. The thing that kills me about like Michaels, and there was also Joanne Fabrics near us that just went out of business. Um, the prices are way through the roof. Like even before, yeah, like right after. I mean, even before COVID, I remember going in there and be like, "This is kind of expensive." But like, we went in there recently, and they were selling these like knickknack things, like these little tiny things that clearly were made for like $2, like nothing crazy, being sold at top dollar for like it'll say in the tag like $70, $80, and then they always have a sale. Oh, they just have a sale going on all the time, don't they? Don't you guys, Michaels? Don't you guys, Joanne? Well, Joanne's is gone now, but I don't understand how they always have a sale going on at like 40%, which then makes that original like $2 item, now it's down to $30 and or $40, and you're like, that's still like that's what the actual base price should be. Now reduce it from there. Like now come down a little further because we're not in the same. I like it's crazy. It's crazy the wealth that some people have to just blow money on stores sometimes. I'm over there at like Five Below. Actually, Five Below isn't even Five Below anymore. Every time I've been going in there, I'm looking at items that are $8, $10. I'm like, this is supposed to be Five Below. This isn't. This is at Five Above now. Now we're talking Five Above. Um. Oh, snooze. That's awesome. Yeah, I think shorts are a really fun thing. They're a fun thing to do. I love shorts because they're just, you know, unless I'm doing the film, which I'm gonna do films again. I think once my kids are able, I've really kind of figured out, like, just from speaking to other parents, like once your kids are self-sufficient, where they can just kind of take care of themselves, like a lot of opportunity opens back up for you to do more things. I am hoping, I mean, I'm hoping by that point that yeah, I'll have just more time to do fun stuff like that. Um, 48-hour film festivals are nuts. I used to do this one playwriting competition where my alma mater did it. It was more for fun. It wasn't anything serious. But you would show up at like it was called Theater at Midnight or Midnight Madness. That's what it was. And you'd show up at the theater around. All the writers would show up at like 8 or 9 o'clock. You'd have an hour to write a play. Then all your actors show up. You have 2 hours to rehearse. You have 1 hour to stage it, and then everyone performs back-to-back productions. And it's just always a shit show. That something like that is always fun. Yeah, dude. Oh, so they did go up due to tariffs. See, I was wondering that because yeah, we went in there last week, and I'm not. I bought something. I did buy something at Michael's because it's spooky season. I love Halloween. They had this cute little bat, very very cute, tiny bat made out of like. He's kind of made out of ceramic actually, but I think I spent $20 on a ceramic bat. And it's cute though. I'm not gonna lie. I will say, if something sparks my joy that much, where I'm like, that is the cutest little bat I've ever seen, I don't care. Like, well, I do care. If it was $30, I'd be like, oh, that's pushing it. Anything above that, no. $20. I'm like, $20, $20. I, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll do $20. That's okay. That's not gonna kill me. Um, Wait, hold on, hold on. Oh, snooze. I always try to help people get the best price, but also you didn't hear that from me. No, you know what, snooze? That mentality of helping people is going to get you exactly where you need to be. My last job, I didn't get fired. I did quit, and I quit in a pretty badass way. I will say, I've quit jobs. Every time I've quit a job, it's a mic drop. I I'll tell you guys some stories about me quitting jobs. I've only held like maybe a total of like 6 or 7 jobs in my life, but pretty much every time I've quit, it's it's with some chutzpah. Um, so yeah, if you're being honest and you're being a good person in your job, that is what the world needs right now. Because it is easy. That's the thing. I think that's the thing people don't understand is like, um, why the majority of us just don't want to be shitty people, and I think it's very simple. We have thought. We think about our actions and we think about what we do. Um, and it's super easy to sell people things. I've learned that from being in sales. There's a lot of psychological techniques that you can use to convince somebody to buy a product that they do not need. But I think when you're honest with people, you know, that's going to translate because I ended up leaving my past job that was designed to do that. And if they ever hear me say that on Twitch, fuck you guys. All right, not any my old company. But essentially, I do not like selling people like that. It is a scummy practice, and I would argue with management and tell them I would not do that, and they would try to like talk me down and be like, well, no, you need to do that because of this, and it's like, no, that's just not me. That's not me. I'm not going to do it. And it was the funniest thing about it, guys. I was on a team of 12 to 14 people at a time, and I was always the top person because I did not lie and I did not push people, and I would actually tell people to look at other things, and then for whatever reason they would, and sometimes I'd be like, yeah, we're expensive, and they'd be like, no, I like you, and it'll get you far. Being honest, being yourself. I just got McDonald's tonight with somebody that was so nice, and the last couple times we've been to that McDonald's, we've been treated so like the people. There have been a couple of workers there that have been so nasty, and actually hand us the food. Don't even look at us and don't even look at us. Like don't even say our order. And every time the food's been wrong. This woman tonight was so nice. Talked me into getting a wrap. Love it when people are nice. That's what gets you far in life. And Allie, going back to that, yeah. So the film that I am in is not about old people. So yeah, always on sale. Yeah, snooze. Oh, and that's the thing, snooze. So last year I bought an LED ghost from Joann's before they went out of business. I did end up getting it for $15. The original markup, $110. So that's what I'm here for. Yeah, something about bats. Yeah. So all right. So let me tell you guys. Oh, hold on. Let me finish reading the chat. Yeah, I have a week. So I've fallen in love with bats. A little. I just love Halloween. Halloween, something about it. The fall, just actually I've become a fan of all seasons. This is the first year, guys. Oh my god, I didn't even notice that. This is the first year. I'm 30 years old in my entire life that I did not have allergies throughout the whole spring or the whole summer. We are in fall, and my allergies have been like minimum. I am beside myself because I was the type of kid that was on like Claritin, Allegra, Zyrtec all at the same time, and nothing would work for me. My mother never took me, my parents never took me to an allergist or something like that. My brother went to an allergist in his 30s and found out that, and him and I are pretty similar. He's allergic to every single thing that they test you for being allergic for. Um, but yeah, all right. I keep going on these tangents here. So snooze. Me too. I always have really bad anxiety too. So I always feel guilty if I try to make people buy things. Yeah, honestly, just be honest with people. You'll find the fine line. Like sometimes if people are like, yeah, I'm gonna get this thing, and you know exactly what they're talking about, and you're like, why? If you know what's right for them, you can direct them in the right place. And if you're making commission off things, then and it's just not sitting right with you, there's another job out there. That's like how my old company was. Once I realized it was a big sham, I just started applying to other places, and then I got the job that I have now, which was double the pay, triple my commission, and it is exactly in alignment with how I do business, with how I talk to people and how I do sales. It's very nice because I actually don't. My day job, I don't sell anyone anything, and it's so nice. I don't tell anyone to sign anything. I don't tell anyone to buy anything. I actually tell people like, do your research, do your homework. If this is a fit, then I'll always be here. But if it's not, I can't stress enough. I wish you the best. Um, People resonate with that because I know my competitors. I know how people are doing it because I work for one of my competitors. I know exactly what they're doing. I know how these things, how, at least in sales, how some of these things go. It's really funny getting sales calls these days. I got to tell you. Yeah, yeah, and that's true, Allie. So nine is something crazy about sales. I learned, and there's no real statistics on it, but there really is something true to people are people really buy on emotion. Like it's like 99% of the time they buy on emotion. The other 1% of the time they're buying on like the actual product and what they need. Um, so that's why it's just good to be yourself. It's good to be who you are. And that's like something that they're teaching my son in preschool. Like this shit follows us our whole lives. I know somebody wrote a book about that, like the lessons you learn like in kindergarten, and it's like designed for adults because it's like that stuff carries on with us our entire lives. Um, Snooze, that's why you're getting a lot of Joanne's products at Michael's. I mean, that makes sense. Like, my wife filled me in on what happened with Joanne's. I don't know the full ins and outs. I can't say I ever went there much. But yeah. Look, it's freaking bats. I love Halloween. did, did I say that? Allie, did I say that? Oh, man. Yeah. I can't get enough of Halloween. Oh, yeah. Oh, dude. Allie, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. I should. Oh, it's a vine. Oh, okay. Oh, I do. I remember that vine. I remember that little girl. Yup. Ooh, commission. Yeah, so that's rough. Yeah, so I'll have to do, especially like as we approach like Halloween. Well, let me look at the calendar. That's a good point, though. Oh, and guys, I finally realized I could just take the YouTube video I've been playing this whole time, just download it as an MP3, and no commercials. I'm so silly, but no, never a commercial again. While we're just sitting here listening to music. All right, let me just see. Calendar. All right. Looky here. Oh, I've never been on the calendar in this account. All right, so we are looking at. Oh, Halloween's on a Friday. Oh, it's Tucker and Larry. What's up, guys? What's up? I hope you guys are having a wonderful evening. Cheers to you, gentlemen. Uh, yeah, we're just hanging out. I kind of logged in, or I kind of started this pretty late. We got running at 11, so I think we're just gonna hang out. Um, Oh, thank you, Al. Yeah, I'll. Dude, the Joker. I would love to do the Joker. The Joker is a pretty cool character. My brother said a lot when I was a kid that I could definitely have been the Joker, just because of the smile. Because sometimes I had this great. Me and my brothers have this shared trauma going growing up, and I'm only busting on my mom about this, but um, we we would have family pictures every year, guaranteed. Usually around like Thanksgiving was kind of the holiday. My mom would buy us all matching sweaters, not like exactly matching. She would buy us sweater variants. So one of us would get the blue, the orange, the green, whatever it is. Um, but I have one brother that is severely autistic. So he did not give a shit ever about taking a photo. So our photo sessions usually would be like solid 30 minutes sitting in a chair or sitting on a couch or standing trying to take a photo. Um, and so after a while, if I'm just smiling straight, I guess my smile starts looking like the Joker. Um, oh, dude, you guys went fly fishing. Oh, homemade ribs. Oh, guys, you guys are living the dream. That is a nice night. Tonight we took Ezra to a yeah, it does sound divine. I would eat those ribs. Oh, that sounds really good. I haven't had ribs in years. Years. I haven't had any pork and red meat. I haven't had any red meat in almost 3 years now. It's kind of wild. Oh wait, no, actually, that's a lie. I think I accidentally had beef recent. Not recently. I think like about a couple months ago. That doesn't matter. I was gonna say we took Ezra to a drive-in this morning to watch Hocus Pocus. This morning, tonight, not this morning. We took him to a drive-in tonight. This morning that wouldn't work. So there's a drive-in that's like actually 15 minutes from here now, and it's like this little like mom and pop kind of drive-in. They just set up a huge screen. They have these dope speakers. These like really nice speakers. You don't even have to have your car radio on. You could just sit and watch the movie. So that's what we did tonight. That was a good time. Ezra loved it. Ezra's also sick right now. Also, guys, update on Franklin. We thought, honestly, that was another thing. I didn't want to get too deep into it last night. Last night we actually were ready. We kind of said our goodbyes to Franklin last night because it wasn't looking good. I mean, he ate a lot yesterday. There was like he actually had some food yesterday, and but he was so weak, so fragile, and he was kind of just lying there. And I had him on stream last night just to show, he's still kicking it. And when we woke up this morning, he walked up, so he couldn't even walk up the stairs. He couldn't even stand up to go to the bathroom. Huge turn this morning, small victory, but he was able to walk up the stairs, go to the bathroom by himself. He ate. Today is the first day in 16 or 17 days that he ate solid food. So big W for Franklin. Big W. Big W. All right, now get out of my face, camera. OBS spot. All right, but anyway, yeah, thank you guys. Fucking Franklin, dude, he's coming. He's I have cried so much over my boy Franklin. Franklin J Beans. He is such a so he's clonked out right now. He had a great day. He ate some food. He had some turkey. He had some other things. He was feeling good. And he actually, because we actually got yesterday the big game changer was we got this super calorie dense gel that's really just like corn syrup with tons of vitamins and calories in it. And so we gave him 3 servings throughout the day. And today, the first day in 16 or 17 days, that he also went number 2, which is phenomenal. So he's an old pup, but he's coming. We're just hoping that tomorrow is another good day. He went to the bathroom again tonight. He was actually spry. He was kind of walking around after like he was, feeling good. He had McDonald's French fries tonight. Two of them. Two French fries. That's huge. His stomach probably shrunk so much. He is like looks emaciated right now because he just wouldn't eat. And it was the medications. The medications he was on, the systemic antibiotics were killing him. They were causing neurological damage. He couldn't use his back legs very well. Like he's still pretty not. He's not his typical self, but we're really hoping tomorrow that we'll see another small victory. So anyway, thank you guys. This is an ongoing saga of Franklin's health. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, the Canadian fires. Yeah, actually, we talked about the fires this week. I think when we went for a walk one night, either Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Wednesday, and we were like, "Are the fires still going on?" Because like the news doesn't cover, they're not covering them anymore. Like if they are going on, I have no idea. So, yeah. Hold on. What did you have? Yeah. So, uh, it is hard, Snooze. I feel you. Losing a dog. I was talking to my boss at work about it because he is like heavily invested in this too. Because I had to miss a very important meeting at work, and I was like, "Listen, my dog is not doing well," and that was like 2 weeks ago. And he has been like, he is so invested in it too now. He's like, "Dude, dogs are family members, man. They are like because I mentioned it. It was like it's kind of like my first kid. Like really, I've had Franklin for 6 years, going on this tomorrow. Tomorrow is Franklin's birthday. That his gotcha day. We don't know his actual birthday, but it's his gotcha day tomorrow. So, my wife said that yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, and we both started just bawling our eyes out because we really didn't know if he'd make it till tomorrow. I can honestly say, he moved because I've been talking about him so much. But yeah, he's good. But yeah, man. Oh, guys, just wild ride of emotions. Wild. Yeah, pets are. They do find a way to surprise us, Sally. Well said. So, uh, uh, whoa. Yeah, see, that's that's the thing about dogs too is, and that's so I like if there's a vet in the house right now in this chat, I don't think there is, but if there is one, uh, I've had some bad experiences with vets. Um, the vet that we took Franklin to just wanted to put him down. Um, like didn't like she prescribed the antibiotic and then was just expecting he was gonna have this miracle. Because she was I think she was upset because I refused X-rays, and she said, "Well, I can't diagnose him if I don't do X-rays." And I'm like, I already dropped $1,100 from these two visits. I did an emergency visit and then a blood test visit. 1,100 bucks. I don't have that money. I don't have that money at all. It went all on a credit card, and so that's money for future me to worry about. But essentially, I think she got salty that I was like denying the X-rays because I was like, even if you find out what's wrong with him, and let's say you're gonna operate, he in the state that he was in, he was not gonna survive a surgery. Like he was so weak. And so she was just like, okay, well, if he hasn't eaten on Monday, just call me up and we will euthanize him. And that was like, that kind of set me back. I kind of popped my head back just like I did there. I was like, wow, that was just a jump. I was shocked. And I do love vets. I think there are extremely good vets out there, just like there are doctors, right? But I grew up with dogs. I grew up with a lot of animals. We had like this little farm back in Rhode Island, where I spent most of my young adult life, um, and I've always seen, you can really nurse an animal, and do everything you can for an animal, and that will extend its life. And so that's what we did. We did force uh, give Franklin liquids or fluids just so we knew he was getting fluids in him. We did force feed him a little bit too, just so we knew he was getting something in. Um, not nothing bad, like he let us know when this pretty much he was done, and then we were like, all right, he's done. He won't eat anymore. Um, so, and that was all just like trying to give him basically more liquids is what we were doing. So it was just, but essentially, yeah, here we are. If I went with her advice, he would have been put down this past Monday. So we're still here, still kicking it. And it's kind of funny you mentioned that, Allie, too. My wife's family dog, they had this little tiny Peonese or Pekingese dog, or I think that's what it's called. But essentially, that dog had like a death experience where it hadn't eaten in about a whole like week and a half. It was on steroids and stuff. It couldn't even lift its head. Everyone said their goodbyes to it. My wife the next morning wakes up, goes to the bathroom, which is where the dog was, because it wasn't even able to get its body up to go to the bathroom, so it just was going to the bathroom on itself, and it was like, it was very sad. They were just like, all right, she'll pass peacefully in her sleep. So everyone said goodbye. The next morning, my wife goes in there and she looks, and the dog's not there. And she's like, where the hell is Trixie? Trixie is the dog's name. And she looks, she like goes into the kitchen, and Trixie was just standing there drinking water, just fine, just totally fine, So, and then she went on to live for 3 more years, and she was at that point, she was already, she was already kind of old at that point. By the time she went, she was old. I had another dog that lived to 20 years old or 21 years old. He was a Shih Tzu. I had another dog that was a large breed that lived till she was 13, which her life expectancy was 9. And Allie, that's the thing. When I went in for the blood tests, um, I do feel like I was a bit. I don't know what the right word is here, but they ran up the bill. I'm gonna be honest about that. They showed me the first bill. They said this is what the blood tests are gonna cost, $540. I said, okay, that makes sense. We could do that. I mean, I was hoping it'd be less than that. Of course, that's a lot of money, but I said, okay, we'll do that. I agree to it. She leaves the room. She's like, I'll be right back. Comes back in and says, actually, we were wrong. It's not 540. Here's the actual numbers. Hands me the paper. Now it's up to like, I think it was at that point like 610. And I was like, oh, okay. And she was like, yeah, we just input the wrong numbers on some things. And I say, okay, that's not a big deal. And she starts talking to me about stuff, and then she just goes, you know what? I do want to prescribe him on another medication though. And so I'm going to add that to this as well. And I was like, okay, well, if we're doing that, like, we should probably take him off the other meds, because we did he ran in full course doses on each of those meds. Like, I think we've seen those through. They're not working. They're just making him ill. And she was like, no, still going on those meds. And I asked why. I was like, oh, well, what's your reasoning for that? And she just says, well, that's what I recommend. And you're in one of those positions where you love your dog so much, and you want to do everything for your dog. So you're really kind of pigeonholed there, because are you going to say, like, of course there are people. I'm not a very confrontational person either. But could I have been like, absolutely not, like, take those off the bill? Yeah, sure. But am I a vet? No. Of course I'm going to trust the expert's opinion. And so we were trying to do all 3 meds this second round, and that's what was really killing Franklin. Like, Franklin was like doing really bad when we were trying to administer all three. Um, and so we took him off the two like right away. I had a gut feeling. I was like, this doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. So we ran him on the other antibiotic. Ran that for about half the time because he has 3 more pills of that left. I know you're not supposed to stop them on that, but if we kept pushing him on that, it wouldn't have gone well. Oh, and he dropped his blanket. He has this nice little sunflower blanket. There, buddy. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. All right, there he goes. Um, yeah, no, so that's the thing. And yeah, I just couldn't do it was going to be like, based on that. Oh, yeah, so when she added that last med, the vet bill went up to 680. So we went from a difference of 514, it was like somewhere around there, to 680 when all is said and done. And yeah, I was pretty pissed. I walked it out of there. I was pretty pissed because they knew I was already putting it on the credit card, and I think that's why they were fine with it. But that was pretty shitty because that was the thing. I paid for a blood test. She comes in with the blood test results, $75 to read a piece of paper, which, I mean, I get it. She's the expert. That's fine. Couldn't tell. All the only thing off on his blood test was he had a high white blood cell count, and that was it. So he didn't have cancer, no Lyme disease, no heartworm. It's wild. Yeah. Oh, snooze! You have guinea pigs. A guinea pig was my first pet that I ever got. From my parents got it for me, but at the time they got it when I was 6 years old, 7. I think I was 7, and it was from Santa. And that's actually my guinea pig is the reason I found out at that young age that Santa wasn't real, um, because he had seizures and we took him to the vet, and my mom slipped and told the vet person that. No, he is real. Santa is real. Santa's real. There was a different Santa. We're talking about a different Santa. We're talking about this Summer Claus. Christmas in July. No, but yeah. Yeah, guinea pigs are great. I think guinea pigs are so cute. I've had bunnies, or I've had a bunny. No, I have had bunnies, actually. I had one bunny that lived with me for years. I think she lived for 6 years. She was such a sweet bunny. She actually moved in with me for college for a semester, and she was like a dog. She would knock over the trash can and like get in the trash. And one of my roommates loved feeding her dried ramen, and she loved it. She was such a good bunny. We had a walk-in closet, so that was like her space. The other roommate I had did not like it because she would poop. But bunnies, everything poops. Yeah, and if you can find a right vet, that's good. Honestly, the vet we took Franklin to back in Connecticut, it was like Watertown, Connecticut, or I think I'm pretty sure that was the area. That was a good vet. That was a great vet. They were really good. They actually wrote on all of his medications, like his official name in their system was Franklin J. Beans, which is his full name. That's his name. And they had that on all of his official documentation. Allie, cats are pretty resilient. I mean, thankfully cats just live longer. They live like 18 years, 16 years. Cats live a pretty long time. I've never I mean, I grew up we always had a cat growing up as well. Can't say that I was around for any of the times that they actually passed or were put down. Well, no, my youngest cat was, the cat we had when I was the young boy, that cat got really, became blind, deaf. Oh. Yeah, we haven't found, honestly, this last experience with this vet, left a really bad taste in my mouth, specifically with the vet. The nurse was fantastic because we saw her multiple times throughout this whole thing. She like knew my dog's name. She was really sweet with my dog. Um, yeah. Oh, Allie, that's awesome that they reduced your vet bill. Snooze, is that your guinea pig you're talking about? The one that's blind in one eye? Allie, no. No, you can't. You can't spread that rumor. I love. This just did. The underground hates old people. And Santa? Dude, the underground's a dark place. Nobody's gonna want to come to Midnight Underground. This city is this is an ageist. I don't know what the anti. Let me see. Let's. Hold on. Oh, there's no good. There's no good like term. So you can be ageist, but there's nothing for it being anti-holiday. It's literally just being anti-holiday. I'll have to come up with a better word for that. Midnight Underground hates old people. That cracks me up. Oh, so Steve, that's so yeah. Oh man, guinea pigs though. So you, yeah. Well, I hope your guinea pig lives a long and happy, healthy life. Please, Allie, you're gonna be like. Dude, Tucker. Oh, yeah. Santist. I'm a Santist. Get Santa the heck out of here. Get Santa out of here. We don't want him. We don't want it. We don't want it anymore. Oh my god. I'll be getting something for Christmas. I'm talking like this. Santa gives just coal for the bad kids, but for the kids that despise Santa, that hate Santa, they get we can't even say it. Can't even say what they get. Cuz oh man. Yeah, Tucker and I went to a bar once and we were like, I don't know if we were being hit on or what it was, but I have this bad habit, guys, of like being friendly to the majority of people I meet. My wife has a serious problem that I do that because I've gotten us into questionable situations before. But one time Tucker and I went to a bar and there was an older woman at the bar, very talkative. Of course, I was very polite and I responded in conversation, as you do typically at a bar, thinking that the conversation is going to be over in about 2 minutes most of the time. Or somebody will get the social cue that, hey, I'm hanging out with my buddy here. Let's, let's chill out. That didn't happen. She did not leave us alone. That was a night. And yeah. She wasn't I mean, I don't know. Oh man, that's just offer to walk an old lady across the street and then let her like go over halfway. That's dude, that's dirty. That is a sick move. That is just leaving them stranded in the middle of the desert. No water, no food, no service. They're just you're basically inviting them to like a booby trap and you're just like, yeah, now just don't move. You'll be fine. Oh man, Mountain Dew. Yeah, that's a throwback. That was a throwback story. Jesus. I don't even know how I do that, snooze. Like, all I can envision myself is just like, I don't know. I don't know, be like, hey, like, can I? I'm trying to think of how that situation would come up. Like, I hope I wouldn't just throw them to the ground and then take their seat. Yeah, Allie, and then I spat on, her. I guess I spit on all, all old people now. When they cross me the wrong way, that I just lose it. I just can't deal. We just say enough is enough, and oh yeah, definitely don't offer them the seat. Definitely don't let them get to the seat. They, I think we're too. I think. All right, I'm gonna go into this character. I think we're too nice to old people. I think we gotta give them a harder time. Listen, we've all heard the story that they had to walk uphill, both ways to get to school. No shoes, no breakfast. They didn't have electricity. All these stories, right? Why are we giving it to them easy now? They've had it the hardest, so they should be used to having it hard. Let's make it harder for old people to get by. Oh man. Oh man. They can see, that's what I mean, Snooze. They can handle it. You think me pushing them out of the way to get to a bus seat is really gonna ruin their day? They God, like they, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. You know? Hell, I'll buy him a beer later. One time I did buy an old guy a beer. He was a bit of a con artist, but I knew he was, and I bought him some beers anyway. And then he just kept asking for more beers, and I left the bar. And for some reason, I felt guilty about leaving. Isn't that weird? Like, he was like a drunk old man, and he approached me on the street, and I knew. You know why I knew? Because he said it was his birthday, in the middle of the day, on like the most random. It was just I just had groceries in my hand. I had fucking bread in my hand, and he didn't look drunk though. I'll give him that. He actually was dressed up like a businessman, and he didn't. He was kind of dapper. Like I gotta give it to this guy. Like looking back, he actually like looked pretty dapper. He said he was a film producer, and he said it was his birthday. Come on, can you get me a drink? I was like, what the hell? I was in a good mood that day. I said, what the hell? Let's do it. Let's go to the bar. I'll get you a drink. So we sit down and get a drink. Turns out he was nuts. Told me he was God. That was crazy. He said he's been alive for billions of years. It was like one of those old people stories all over again. Come on, Grandpa, we've heard it all before. No, but seriously, at that point I was like, I'm getting out of here. I think I got him 2 drinks. I think I spent like $30 on the guy. He was pretty old, you know. And then I said, I'm going home. I'm going back to my apartment. Like, what the? I kind of had this thought of like, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, it was that. It really was like one of those moments. Like I was in a pretty good mood. That's how he caught me. I was in a good mood. I was charitable. You know, whatever. I wanted to. I had some bread in my hand. I was like, I'll get a drink too. I had 2 drinks. It was fine. It was a good time. Honestly, we had some laughs. I'll say that we had some laughs. He was a nice guy. He was a funny guy. He'd done everything. You know, you can learn from someone like that. But then it made me hate old people. Oh man. Oh wow, Mountain Dew I almost just spit everywhere. I just read Mountain Dew's message. Can't believe you just leave God hanging like that. Oh, jeez. I gotta rethink my life decisions. That's what you're telling me right now, Mountain Dew. That's like I gotta look in the mirror. I gotta take a big, hard, long look in the mirror and just say, what? What have I done, dude? I left God at a bar drunk. I'm better than that. I'm better than that. I can do better. I'll do better. I'll do better. Things are okay. I didn't leave him in the middle of the street, in the middle of traffic. So there's that. I did walk him across the street. Literally, we did walk across the street together. Oh man, I got some stories, Allie. Let me see. Oh, yeah, dude. Old people, they can fucking handle it. You know, they had it, and that's the thing. They say they had such a hard childhood. They've lived in the best economy America ever experienced, and they're, man. I digress. Um, yeah, you guys are making me cry with this story because it's just. I love the idea of it. I like it's not. I think that's why it's making me laugh so much. Is like I think it's hilarious, because I, man, it's hilarious. Um, you didn't believe him. Snooze, snooze. When he dropped that bomb, I was I was I was starstruck. Frankly, I didn't know what I was like. I think how it came about too was I was like, um, I had a feeling. I knew that was the thing. There was like a thought in my head. There was like a my conscience was just being like, you know, this guy's crazy. Like, but prove it. Like that's I think that's what my conscience was saying was like, you know this dude is tapped, but let's see how it tapped. And so I asked. We were just talking about. He was telling me about some fucking film producer he knows that he knew, and I was like, I don't know who he's talking about. And so finally, I was like, you know, what do you believe in? I think that's how I framed it. I was just like, off the cuff, out of nowhere. I was like, what do you believe in? And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you know, like spiritually, like, you know, religious wise, like, you know, what are your kind of views? And then he was like, well, what do you believe in? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, I was raised this way. I don't really believe that, believe exactly what I was kind of raised in. Now, you know, I'd read the Tao Te Ching. I was like really on that at the time, and I was like, you know, the way, man. It's there's the way, and there's cool stuff like that. And he kind of cut me off, snapped at me, and he was like, "Well, I am God," and I was like, "Whoa, what?" I was like, I think I said like, "You are God," and he was like, "Yeah," like he was stone cold serious, like, "Yes." I was like, "How old are you?" And he was like, and he laughed. He had like one of those like evil villain laughs at that time. And he was like, I've lived for billions of years. And this is like the most serious conversation. Like he is so serious at this point. And I was like, well, why are you here? And it was one of those things where he was like, oh man, what did he say? Then he gave some kind of like Confucius thing where he was like, I'm here to. It was something about learning a lesson. I missed that part. At that point, I was kind of just like, whoa. And it just, yeah. Yeah, it kind of didn't really go anywhere after that. He kind of just filled me in on his history. That he's been around for billions of years and he's been through every experience and all these things. And I was just like, maybe I've had too much to drink. Maybe there's something in my drink. Oh. So, you are right, Allie. You are right. Definitely not closer to heaven. I'll say that. You know, I've had people literally tell me that I'm going to hell. People very close to me tell me that I'm going to end up in hell. So, I'm here for it. Let's fucking go. You know, let's see. Let's find out. Oh, jeez. But anyway, guys. Oh, that is. Oh yeah, no, Yeah, that happened, Allie. It's cool. I honestly, it's kind of funny when somebody says the most, just like the craziest thing you'd expect someone close to you to say. You, for me anyway. What happens with me is I got it. It was just like dealing with my toddler. It was just like, okay, if that's what you think, because I'm not gonna. You can't. Some people, there's just people you can't argue with. And that's just the fact of life sometimes. We all go to hell. Yeah. Cheers. Oh man. Um, yeah, LA. That whole story of when I met God, that happened in Los Angeles, the city of angels. So it kind of makes sense that God was out there. Um, I met a lot of interesting people out in LA. One time I met a guy who, actually, the craziest thing about living in West Hollywood, at least as me, 22-year-old me, um, a lot of people, of old men gave me their numbers or um, gave me put offers out on the table, let's say. And that was an experience. I've never been so hit on so much in my whole life. Actually, never been hit on so much than when I lived in West Hollywood. Yeah, the winter in LA, Alley, is nothing. Nothing. I've lived in the Northeast my whole life. I wear shorts all winter. I wore shorts all last winter when it was down in the zeros, the negatives. I personally, I just like wearing shorts. Uh, yeah, when I went out to LA, they start wearing winter jackets when it gets like 50 degrees outside. Um, that's all I can say about that. I don't think I've ever worn a winter jacket above 40 degrees, That's just not me. That's just not me. Yeah. It's, but hold on, but I do not, what's FW? I'm sorry. Oh, thank you. Thank you for that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, 5 layers every winter. I mean, sometimes I like it. Sometimes I will say I like it when we get a big blizzard and it's cold out and I'm just gonna go around and roll in the snow. That I don't mind wearing a bunch of layers for that. That is a fun time for me. Um, oh, Mountain Dew. Oh yeah, yeah, that'll do it. At least though in Arizona, isn't it? I mean, well, so is LA. Typically, it's that dry heat. I will say that dry heat is way better than humid heat. It's one of those like dad sayings. It's all about the humidity. It really is. When it's hot and humid here, not a fan. Not a fan. I mean, I can be a fan. I can enjoy it, but I don't prefer it. I'll say that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. 5 feet tall. So 4 feet of snow is like kind of like a little hill for you. Then that's like a get your uh, get your snow boots on and start climbing. No, just playing. You know what though? 4 feet of snow is great for building an igloo, which you could do. Um, oh, it's always humid in Wisconsin. That makes sense though. It makes sense it's humid in Wisconsin. That's like right in the middle of the country, right near the Great Lakes. That makes sense. Oh wow. So yeah, you get some snow, Allie. That is. See, I wish. So it's kind of cool. So you would really like where I live because we always get the lake effect snow from the Finger Lakes. So our whole winter last winter, we didn't get any actual snowstorms. It was lake effect snow the entire winter. So it was almost like every night it's just snowing, but nothing would stick. I think out of the whole winter, we had 2 nights where the snow like stuck to the ground really. Oh, dude, you live right on Lake Michigan. That's sick. I hear that's a nice. So people at my company live right on Lake Michigan, over on the Michigan side. Um, I hear it's beautiful. I really want to. I haven't done it. I really want to check out the Great Lakes. They sound really, really cool. Like it's like the ocean, I've been told, but no sharks. So that's, or as my mother would say, no sharks. My mother for some reason has an extremely thick Rhode Island accent, which is basically like a Boston accent. Um, oh, oh man, funny stuff, dude. You got riptides and currents. I would not have expected that. That is surprising to me. I really wouldn't have thought that you get like riptides and currents out there because it's just a giant lake. I mean, at the most, I would think it'd get a little choppy. You know, that's nuts. Whoa, that makes me think differently about the Great Lakes now. Now I really want to go because I love the ocean. The thing I don't like about the ocean though, um, as of late, and not like I've been recently. I haven't been to the ocean actually. At least 2 years. It's been 2 years. I always go to the ocean over in Rhode Island. Um, but oh no, it's been about a year. It's been about a year and a half. I did go not this summer but last summer. Um, yeah, I there's just so many things in the ocean now. Like there's just you never know what's out there. The waters in Rhode Island, Mass, they're not like clear. Like you can't really see if you're swimming in the ocean, you can't see more than like a foot in front of you. So if there's anything out there, you're kind of just getting surprised. Oh yeah, I have swam out pretty far in the ocean. Oh dude, that's the end of the music. Oh man, we've been chilling. This is awesome. I love this music. This guy, I'm giving him credit in all my YouTube videos right now. His name's like Luke Crimbo. Tucker, I did not play any 3DS. And if I did, let me just look up real quick just to confirm. Yeah, I never had the 3DS. 3DS looked cool though. 3DS was a system I was a little envious people had because I saw some pretty good games on there, but no, I never had a 3DS. I kind of went from Game Boy, then I had a Game Boy Advanced. Well, I didn't. It was my brother's. He would let me play it. Then my brother got a Game Boy SP, and then I don't know how many years later, I got the Switch for Christmas one year. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty sure I had Game Boy. Hold on. Let's see here. Which one is the oh, wait, Game Boy S. Hold on. Yeah, I had the SP. Yeah, not the. Yeah, I never. Oh, you know what? So I did play Nintendogs on the DS. And it was only because this girl I went to school with, who was maybe 4 years younger than me, so I was like a fifth grader or something at the time. She had the DS. It was like brand new. She was so nice. She would let me play her Nintendogs. I think it was because I was always the first kid on the bus. I was always the last kid off the bus, which was great, but also terrible sometimes. Um, if you're bored, especially. Dude, you can record with the 3DS? The 3, I think. Oh, I'm getting it now. The 3DS. I really liked the SP. They really just did like the SP and that was it, huh? The SP was pretty cool. I would get an SP.
Hey everybody, welcome.
I, sorry guys, that was probably loud. I just pulled up a video for the SP. I'm not gonna watch it though. You should mod them. Hey everybody, welk. Yeah, no, you should mod one. Those are pretty legit. What do we got here? Is this my? Oh, those are my most recents. There we go. I also have 3 Wii's, dude. Allie, you got to. You know what? That's sick. I think Wii is going to be one of those consoles that is going to get a lot of popularity in about 5 years, if not less. I think the Wii's price is going to skyrocket. They call me the retro one. You are now the retro one, Allie. Starla. Starla, the retro one. Yeah, I gotta say that retro consoles are really interesting. The N64's price really hasn't changed much in the last 2 years? Yeah, the last 2 years, I'd say. It's been about $80 retail right now for getting a refurbished N64. Um, PS2, same thing. I think it's like $90. A nice PS2, I think I've seen them go for maybe 110. But I think resale on these old console games, it's just gonna keep going up because they're not making new ones, and people really do care about um, what is it about not having, I don't know, the cheap knockoff versions of things. I think that matters. Let me put this back here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's wild when the camera shifts like that. Um, yeah, good. I'm glad I helped you. Honestly, so one thing I wish I had just like a shred more income to spare, because I see it all the time where people are posting on Facebook. Right now, somebody is selling an original Xbox plus a 360 with about 50 games for $25. The original Xbox is another system that will also certainly have a huge spike in resale value. I think there are certain systems out there that are definitely overlooked. I think if we look at something like, um, an NES, that's really that's if you want the quality of the NES, I think even the N64, like I feel like the market for those will be more stable than things like the 360 or the Wii. Um, just because there's such unique experiences, and I think that all the games still work on them. Not like they don't for the NES and 64, but I don't think those are as user friendly as something like the Wii or the Xbox is a very user friendly system. Same thing with PS2, right? I see a lot of people buying PS2s. Um, I know. I think what was it? It was something like there. If you do an original all-in set for a PS2, I want to just see here. I want to just see how many. Where is it? Hold on. Thought that would come up. We got well over, well over 4,000 PS2 games. They estimate that it's approximately between 4,300 to 4,400 PS2 games that are considered original titles. It is the largest console collection out of all the consoles. So, PS2, I mean, PS2 is always going to be popular. You know, I think the PS2, frankly, like I never owned the PS3, but for me, at least from what my experience was, is not a lot of people wrote home about the PS3, telling me I needed to get it. The PS3 kind of like in retrospect feels like just one of those and no, if you had the PS3 and that was your childhood system, then I would love to hear your input. But from everybody that I knew, the PS3 was kind of like a stepping stone console. Like nobody really talked about it. People did have it. People certainly played on it, but because the PS4 was released so quickly after the PS3, I think it really just overshadowed it and kind of just made it nothing like that, nothing to talk about. Yeah, and Jak and Daxter, I think right before I left home for college, I rebeat Jak and Daxter 3, and I started beating Jak and Daxter 1 again. Great systems. We talk about like Ratchet and Clank. Those are pretty good games, pretty solid games that were great platformers. Basically third-person shooters for the PS2. We could go in a lot of different routes. I mean, I have a handful of games here. Like one game I have that I've been wanting to play is Red Dead Revolver. I didn't realize that predates Red Dead Redemption. Guitar Hero, that came out. Then Guitar Hero spun. Like I never played DJ Hero. I actually saw somebody selling a complete DJ Hero set for $220 with all the games, which I didn't even think that was a thing. DDR, one of my older brothers got into DDR a lot. Like he was treating it like it was his gym. He would come home from high school, go downstairs, plug in DDR, and dude would rip on DDR for about an hour to 2 hours. And he got into the expert level, and he was pretty good. He was pretty good at that. I was not. I didn't have the dedication. I didn't have the grit. I didn't really see the picture. I was like, why? I'm sweating, and at the time I've always had asthma, but my asthma was pretty bad back then. I was like, why am I gonna give myself an asthma attack to play a game? Like that's just, for me personally, it didn't make sense. Guitar Hero. Now I'd play Guitar Hero for hours. That was pretty good. But yeah, if we go down the library of like PlayStation 2 games, it is actually insane. Even just looking at this right now, there are so many games here that I've never even heard of. One good game was Ace Combat 5, Young Sung War. That was a game I hadn't played. That was pretty good. Just starting at the letter A, there's tons of things. I had Jimmy Neutron, Attack of the Twonkies. I don't know if anyone here ever played that or saw that. That was a good game. I also had The Hobbit. I had this game called Portal Runner, which was an extension of Army, the Green Army Men games. Man, there's just so many. I could talk about PS2 games all day. I wish I could play every PS2 game. Honestly, that's if I were to remake a bucket list, that would be on my bucket list. Is to play at least once every like PS2 game. Whoa! I remember Red Octane. Yeah, and the original Guitar Hero I beat in a day. That was already when I had like beaten through Guitar Hero 3 and beat it all pretty much. I pre, yeah, I did beat it all on expert at that point. Um, Guitar Hero 2 was good. Trying to think. I would love to see what game they come out with. You know, I played Guitar Hero, the new Guitar Hero that came out for the PS4. That was fun. That was fun. That was definitely more difficult. That definitely had new difficulty levels that I was not prepared for, just based on the change. One game I played a lot of was this game called Star Ocean Till the End of Time. That was a huge. I would. I've talked about. I've thought about streaming that one. I can't stream that one. That one requires hours, hours of gameplay just to get through the story. Um, but boy, if you want to get deep into a game that is a very much RPG style game, Star Ocean Till the End of Time was was a pretty kind of. I liked its battle system because it was very much like you walk into a battle and then you are like in this arena where you can freely attack the enemy. It was cool. Yeah, beating Guitar Hero 3 on expert is hard. I think you get through Raining Blood and you're like, wow, that was ridiculous. Like that was crazy. That was awful. I hated getting through Raining Blood, and then you get to the Devil, and that was. I remember that too. Now that you mentioned it, Mountain Dew, that was a pretty good. That was like for me. That was like close. I think my greatest gaming achievement was the first time I ever got a nuke. That because I'd been playing Call of Duty for a while before I got a nuke, and the first time I got a nuke, I started screaming downstairs, and my mom did not give a shit. She was like, "Stop screaming!" She was like, "Stop screaming down there." It was just me. It was just me. Like, I, and I was like, "I got a nuke," and she was like, "A what?" And I was like, "A nuke," and she was like, "Okay." Like she must have been had a day. Oh man. One game that somebody got me was Big Mother Truckers. Big Mother Truckers. THQ. Wasn't a big fan of that. That was like an arcade game, honestly, that they sold as a disc. And that's kind of a hard thing too about the PS2 is they took so many arcade games and just put them on disc. Like we had this one game called like Ninja Assault, and it was an arcade game. Um, so it wasn't as fun as being in an arcade with the little gun that you can shoot. I also know I'm pretty sure House of the Dead, those games are on here. Ooh, now 40 kill streak in Halo Reach, that's pretty good too. Halo was also a really I kind of missed Halo. One of my buddies got me into Halo. Like he had me play through all of Halo 1, all of Halo 2 with him. We played a lot of multiplayer together. But I never owned it myself. Um, so I kind of missed that altogether. There you go. Yeah, I wish I knew more about Halo, honestly. I'm trying to see. Oh, one game I am gonna stream though. Um, Not sure if you guys have ever heard of it. It's called Shinobi. I want to see here. I should add here. Let me see something. I should add a display window capture. Uh, let me show you this real quick. So there we go. This game. Alright, so let me show you guys this real quick. Oh, not that, not that. Where is it? This is it. Here we go. So, Shinobi. Yeah, if you guys have ever heard of this game is worth it. This game I'm definitely going to stream for a retro replay. It's a... I'll zoom up. It's a really, really fun game. You know, you just go around, you're this ninja. It was the first game I ever played that you're like running on walls and just doing crazy shit here. You know? Fantastic game. It's just... Let me do this. Oh, Wikipedia. Sorry, Wikipedia. Not today. So, Shinobi's definitely a game I'm going to do. I've been thinking about other games too, but... Oh, now I can always just hide this, huh? Oh, that's pretty nifty. I'm trying to think of anything else. Cabela's. Man, they came out with a lot of Cabela's. The hunting game. Oh, dude, I had a Casper game, Casper the Ghost. Honestly, that game was pretty bad. That game did not sell me at all. I struggled to play through it. Now, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies, I think I beat that like 2 or 3 times. So kids games can be pretty simplistic, but sometimes, you know, they get certain kind of nostalgia because of their simplicity. Club football. Dude, they had a Code Geass. That must have been pretty cool, actually. Anyone watch Code Geass? That was an interesting show. Well, I mean, we could sit here and talk about PS2 games all night. Maybe we'll have a night where we rate some. Who knows? I guess, though, that's where I'll call this, guys. I bet our boy Domo is probably streaming right now. So we're gonna... I don't think... There are 5 people in here. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Allie, Snooze, Mountain Dew, Tucker, if you're still on. And whoever that 4th person, or the 5th person would be. Whoever you are. Maybe it's Red? I mean, Red was here. 5th person, make yourself known. No, you don't have to. If you're just lurking, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for keeping Franklin in your thoughts. I'll give you an update, Allie, and anyone else that's here tomorrow. I'm going to try streaming tomorrow. So we'll probably get to some games tomorrow night. But either way, guys, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a good night. It does look like... Hold on. Yep. Domo's live. Well, if anyone wants to hang out with Domo, I'm going to push everyone there. Otherwise, guys, have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out again. Cheers. See you guys another day. Peace out. I'm going to start this raid here. Adios, everyone. Oh, did it send? Oh, there it is. All right, guys. Good night. Bye-bye.
It's a huge oversight and disservice